Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. The Champions League is back, which means the Champions League fantasy is also back. Now, we'll start building up to the season during the international break. But in this one, I want us to take a look at the draw that has been made today, as well as which teams have the best fixtures. Obviously, in terms of arrangement of fixtures, that one will come back, will come out later on. So as of now, we just know which teams they're going to play, but we don't know the order yet. And then, obviously, we're going to take a look at the prices of the players. How much our favorite players going to cost this season, which players are must-haves for this season as well. We'll take a look at all that. But first, let's take a look at this in terms of the draw. So PSG was up first. PSG are going to play Bayern. So first question for you guys first. As we go through this, let me know which team you think has the best fixtures in terms of, or the best draw. So PSG are going to play against Bayern Munich at home, Barcelona away, Atalanta at home, Leverkusen away, Tottenham at home, Sporting away, Newcastle at home, and Athletic Club away. So that is obviously it's a mixture. Every team is going to play at least 2 or 3 very, very tough games. But looking at that straight away, PSG definitely has one of the tougher fixtures. Bayern Munich at home, not easy. Barcelona away, not easy. One thing I can say, these games are not going to end 0-0 or anything like that. No, these games are going to have a lot of goals. Like PSG and Barcelona, that was, according to people, that was supposed to be the final last season. And, you'd have expected it to be like a 3-3 or something. So that game is potentially going to have goals. But looking at PSG and Bayern Munich as well, you expect goals. Looking at PSG Tottenham, you expect goals. Looking at PSG Sporting, you expect goals. Athletic Club against PSG, maybe not that much. Newcastle, wait and see. Maybe Newcastle will try to pack the bus. Maybe that is going to be a closer one. But even Leverkusen expect goals. So right away, the PSG players in terms of the forward areas, they're looking very attractive from this draw. Real Madrid are going to play Man City at home, Liverpool away, not easy at all. Juventus at home, Benfica away, Marseille at home, Olympiacos away, Monaco at home, Kairat away. So obviously, in terms of your chips and all that, there's going to be weeks, so you're going to target fixtures like, Kairat against Real Madrid. And so, for example, you see PSG, you can't really target a fixture that maybe it's PSG at home against Sporting, but right away, like if it's Kairat against Real Madrid, you target that fixture for your limitless chip. But the first two, not easy for Madrid. I think for Madrid, it's always the forward players. It's usually whether you're going to go for Mbappe or you're going to go for Vinicius. Now, Bellingham is injured, so I think it's just between those two and which players you're going to pick. Next up, it's Man City, who are going to play against Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away, Leverkusen at home, Villarreal away, Napoli at home, Bodo Glimt away, Galatasaray at home, Monaco away. So if I was to rate the fixture, let me just go through and rate the fixtures out of 10 in terms of how do we rate it? In terms of being easy or hard. So let's have one as easiest, and let's have 10 as hardest in terms of the fixtures. So for PSG, I'm going to give them a solid 8. So I don't think that is easy at all. So I'm going to put them at 8 in terms of tough fixtures. Real Madrid, I'm going to put them at a 7 because they have Man City, Liverpool, and Juventus there. So I'm going to give them a 7. For Man City, out of 10, how hard are these fixtures? So 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest. So if a team has like a 1 or 2, probably that's the team that you should be targeting. So for Man City, I'm going to say Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away. Bodo Glimt away is not an easy fixture. You'd expect Man City to win, but the pitch, artificial pitch, is not an easy fixture at all. Galatasaray at home, Monaco away, not easy. Napoli at home, not easy as well. But for Man City, I think Man City is a tough fixture as well. I think for Man City, I'm going to give them a 7 as well. Bayern Munich are going to play Chelsea, PSG, Club Brugge, Arsenal, Sporting, PSV, Union, powerful. So anyone who got like an Atletico Madrid, Atletico Madrid or Arsenal in pot 2 and maybe a Galatasaray away or Monaco away or Bilbao away in pot 4. Those are the toughest you could get. So for pot 4, Bayern Munich have good ones there. Sporting at home, PSV away, that is very, very good actually. For Club Brugge and Arsenal, Chelsea and PSG, you'd say PSG and Arsenal are the toughest fixture for Bayern Munich there, and then followed by Chelsea. So but because they have Club Brugge, Sporting, PSV, these are games I'm expecting Bayern Munich to score goals. I'm going to give Bayern Munich a 6 out of 10 in terms of the fixture difficulty. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Frankfurt, PSV, Marseille, Karabakh, Galatasaray. That is a good. I think that is also like I'd give it a 6 because from pot three, you'd expect Liverpool to beat these teams: PSV, Marseille, Karabakh, Galatasaray. So I'm going to give Liverpool a 6 as well. Inter Milan, Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, not easy, and Ajax as well away from home. That is not easy. So for Inter Milan, I'm going to give them they have Liverpool and Arsenal at home. So their home fixtures are not that great. Liverpool and Arsenal away, Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. So I'm going to give Inter Milan an 8 out of 10 as well. Chelsea, Barcelona, Bayern, Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli. Napoli in Port 3. Getting Napoli in Port 3 is not good at all away from home as well. So I'm going to give Chelsea. You'd expect Chelsea to beat Pafos. You'd expect them to beat Karabakh. You'd expect them to beat Benfica at home. But the rest, you never know. So I'm going to give Chelsea a 7 out of 10 in terms of that. Dortmund, Inter Milan, Man City, Villarreal, Juventus, Bodo Glimt, Tottenham, Bilbao. They like to be called Athletic Club in Copenhagen. Not the worst for Dortmund. Now, we are trying to look at the teams that people would usually target. So for Dortmund here, I'm assuming people will target them when they're playing Bodo Glimt or Copenhagen, but not really much the others. So in terms of those fixture difficulty, I'm going to give Dortmund a 6 out of 10. Barcelona, PSG, Chelsea, Frankfurt, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia, Prague, Copenhagen, Newcastle. Now, I think Barcelona have the best fixtures in terms of the all 8 teams combined. I think Barcelona have the good fixtures because you'd expect them to beat both Frankfurt and Club Brugge. You'd expect them to beat both Olympiacos and Slavia Prague. They avoided everyone good there in terms of Arsenal and who else is in pot 2 and pot 3? Napoli away, those kind of games. They would have gotten an Arsenal away or Napoli away. Olympiacos, Slavia Prague, Copenhagen. Newcastle away is not that easy, but you'd still expect Barcelona to win. So in terms of Barcelona's fixtures, I'm going to actually give them a 5. So I think they have the best fixtures. So 5 out of 10. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, all 3 of those are very tough. Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Prague, Kairat, very good fixtures. Then Bilbao away from home, that is a tough one. That is probably one of the worst to get from pot 4. So for Arsenal, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 in terms of the difficult fixtures because they have these 4 easier ones, but 4 tough ones. So, but you'd still expect them because Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid are at home. Maybe you'd expect them to lose. And because Arsenal's defense and all that, in terms of scoring goals, Arsenal is not like a Barcelona or Bayern Munich in terms of scoring 5-6 goals in majority of the games. So maybe you'd be targeting one forward player and stuff, but we'll talk about the players later. I'm going to give Arsenal a 7 out of 10 in terms of tough fixtures. So like most of the others. Leverkusen, I don't think many people will be going for Leverkusen. I think that's a little bit tough, maybe a 7 out of 10. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Liverpool, Arsenal, those are tough. Galatasaray away, I'm going to give Atleti an 8 out of 10. I don't think those are easy fixtures. Benfica, can you go do all of them? Let's see. Let's just do all of them. Benfica, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Leverkusen, Juventus, not easy as well. Newcastle away, Juventus away. I think Benfica, that is 8 out of 10 for them. That is very tough. Atalanta, I think Atlanta, that's a 7. Villarreal, Man City, Dortmund, Juventus, Leverkusen, Ajax, Tottenham, tough fixtures. Home fixtures have Man City, Ajax, Juventus, Copenhagen. I'm going to give them a 7. Juventus have Dortmund, Real Madrid, Benfica, Villarreal, Sporting, Copenhagen, Pafos, and Monaco in the last pot. That is a 7 as well. A lot of 7s and 8s there. Frankfurt, Liverpool, Barcelona, Atalanta, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham, Napoli, Galatasaray, Karabakh. I mean, I wouldn't really be going for a Frankfurt player when they're playing Atletico Madrid away or Barcelona away or Napoli away, Galatasaray at home, Tottenham at home, Liverpool at home. Tough. That is tough. I think I'm going to give Frankfurt an 8 out of 10. That is very tough. Club Brugge, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Monaco, they have Marseille, they have Atalanta. I think that's also an 8 for Club Brugge. Tottenham, I think Tottenham, just like Barcelona, they have one of the easiest fixtures. Now, there's no easy Champions League fixture, but you can go for a Tottenham player against Dortmund at home. You can go for a Tottenham player against Copenhagen at home. So I think I'm going to give Tottenham a 6 there. I think their fixtures are quite good. PSV, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen, Napoli, Olympiacos, Union Berlin, Union SG from Belgium, and then Newcastle away, Liverpool away, Olympiacos away. That is not easy. PSV, the only easier fixture it says Union SG at home. Yeah, so I'm going to give PSV an 8 out of 10. Ajax, Inter Milan, Chelsea, Benfica, Villarreal, Olympiacos, Marseille, Galatasaray, Karabakh. I think this is a 7 for Ajax. You'd still fancy their players at home to Benfica, at home to Galatasaray, at home to Olympiacos. So 7 out of 10. Napoli have Chelsea and Man City, but the rest, I mean, De Bruyne, could he be a good option against Frankfurt at home, Sporting at home? Lukaku when he's fit, could he be a good option? I think that is a 6 for Napoli. PSG, Bayern Munich for Sporting Club, Bruges, Juventus away, Bilbao away, not easy, Napoli away. So if they have Napoli away in pot 3, Bilbao away in pot 4, Juventus away in pot 2, that's not easy for Sporting. I'm going to rate that as an 8 as well. An 8. So for Slavia Prague, Bodo Glimt, you didn't expect too many people to go for those teams. So Slavia Prague right away. They have Tottenham, Arsenal, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Bodo Glimt at home, Atlanta away. Not the end of the world. So I'm going to give it an 8. Bodo Glimt, I'm going to give it they have home fixtures against Juventus, Monaco, Tottenham. I think they're going to surprise people, and Man City as well, but it's still tough. So it's still an 8 for Bodo Glimt. Marseille, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Newcastle, Sporting, Ajax, not easy. That's like a 7.5 or something. So do you want me to go through this as well? Copenhagen, I don't think many people will have these teams as well. I mean, someone like a Karabakh. Let's see Newcastle, Barcelona away, Barcelona at home, PSG away, Benfica, Leverkusen, PSV, Marseille, Athletic Club, Union SG. I think Newcastle at home against Barcelona, that's tough. At home, away at PSG, that's tough. Marseille away, that's tough. Leverkusen away, that's tough. So Newcastle, that's like a 7 as well. So I don't think many of you will be going for Parfus and Carrot players unless their goalkeeper is cheap. So let's do that. Let's take a look at that. We'll break down the fixtures more the upcoming weeks. Let's take a look at how much these players are and which players we should be targeting and all that. So right away, the most selected player is Lamine Yamal. I've not selected my team yet. Yamal is 52% owned. So as we said, with those fixtures that Barcelona have, especially if the Barcelona are going to play PSG at home, Chelsea away, those are the toughest, but they have Frankfurt at home, Olympiacos at home, Copenhagen at home, Slavia Prague away, Club Brugge away, Newcastle away. I think Barcelona are going to score a lot of goals there. So right away, I think Yamal is a must-own for sure. I think you have to have Lamine Yamal in your team. Rafinha was the highest scoring player last season with 137 points. So I had a double up for the beginning of last season, Rafinha and Yamal. I removed Yamal like in match day 3, but I had Rafinha throughout the season. I never removed him from my team, and I think he's going to be one that is going to be in my team a lot this season as well. So Rafinha and Yamal, I think you definitely have to have at least a Barcelona double up, especially if there's a case where they're not playing like a Chelsea away or a PSG at home in the first 2-3 fixtures. I think you even triple up on them right away. So Rafinha is going to be let's put it on this. Rafinha is going to be, or is going to cost 9.5 million. Yeah, Lamine Yamal 10 million. So that's a lot of money. Most selected players, Hakimi selected by 45%. Hakimi's fixtures look like this. They do have Let's see. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Tottenham, Sporting, Newcastle, Bilbao. So PSG's fixtures are not that great. But Hakimi, we know Hakimi, man, going forward and all that is a very, very, very good player. Last season, he kept 8 clean sheets, 5 assists for a defender. That is really good. But they conceded 14 goals, 4 goals scored. So 4 goals scored and 5 assists for a defender. That is a lot, man. So because of his attacking attribute, sometimes he takes free kicks, sometimes he even took a penalty, I think, against Arsenal. 74 ball recoveries, 20 points. He even scored a goal from outside the box. Yeah, Hakimi is also a very good pick despite the fixture list, and he's 6 million. I think he's worth that 6 million. Is going to give you goals and assists. Even if they concede, he can still give you 7 points. Vitinha was taking the penalties and all. He was very, very good with the ball recoveries. How many ball recoveries did he have, Vitinha? 66. He scored a goal from outside the box. 3 player of the match awards. How many player of the match awards did Hakimi have? 2. I think Rafinha and Yamal had a lot for sure. 3 for Rafinha and Yamal had 2. So not bad. But I think right away you have to ask me 3 players that you must have. I'd say Rafinha, I'd say Hakimi, and then for the third one, who would I say? So Kylian Mbappe, he scored 7 goals, 2 assists. He missed a penalty and a penalty, 1 yellow card, 9 ball recoveries. I don't think a player like Mbappe is a must own, especially considering there will be Kane there. There will be maybe an Isaac for Liverpool, an Ekitike for Liverpool. Haaland is there. Gyökeres is now there for Arsenal. Who else? Chelsea, if you want to draw Pedro, maybe it will be cheaper. So right away, Mbappe is not a must own, so it depends on how you're feeling. Let's see, 33% Nuno Mendes. The highest owned defender is Hakimi. Highest owned midfielder is Yamal. Highest owned forward so far is Mbappe, 44%. Highest owned goalkeeper is Raya, 32%. 5.5 million is what is going to cost you. So Arsenal do keep a lot of clean sheets. I usually don't go for Raya as my goalkeeper. I usually prefer going for the players, what's the word I'm looking for? Outfield players. That's what I tried to go for. But he made saves. He even saved 2 penalties. So Raya is not a bad option. If you want to set and forget goalkeeper from match day 1 to 8, then you go for him. But if you're looking to have cheaper goalkeepers, that's where I usually approach this game. I usually don't like using more than 9 million for goalkeepers. I probably wouldn't really go for Raya. But the most owned goalkeeper. Van Dijk, 28% owned, is going to score goals as well. Out of the 8 games, you'd expect him to, get maybe a couple of attacking returns, a goal, an assist, and something. Guirassy scored a bunch of goals last season. Let's see how many. 13 goals. He was up there with Rafinha in terms of the top scorers. He missed a penalty and 3 penalties. So Guirassy was really good. And if you look at Guirassy's fixtures, Inter Milan, Man City, Villarreal, Juventus, Glimt, Tottenham, Athletic Club, Copenhagen, not easy. But the third player I'd say must own. So I'm saying Hakimi, Rafinha. Depending on how the fixtures are going to it's tough. I think I'd have to go for 2 Barcelona players because of that group. I'm going to say Rafinha, Yamal, and Hakimi as the most as the must-own players because those Barcelona fixtures are too good. The rest, goalkeepers, you don't have to go for Raya. You can choose your own different goalkeeper. You can go for Sanchez from Chelsea if you prefer. I feel Chelsea are going to keep clean sheets. I think you definitely need to have an Arsenal defender. They only considered 3 goals in last season's group stage in the way they play. Maybe a Saliba, Gabriel ball recoveries and all that. Saliba had 5 clean sheets last season, 72 ball recoveries. Gabriel is a goal threat. Kane is always a player who's going to get more than 8 goals in the league phase. So would you have space for him? Rice is owned by 18%, 7 million. Interesting. Soma was my goalkeeper last season. Last season I think he was a little bit cheaper. This season is 6 million. So definitely has a price rise there. Luis Diaz is a forward now at Bayern Munich, 7.5 million. Frimpong is injured. Saka is injured. Salah is another one. So Salah is quite low here because he's only owned by 13%. So could Salah be a differential? Because Salah is always going to score goals. 3 goals, 4 assists, 1 penalty, and 1 penalty means 2 player of the match awards. I guess it depends on the fixtures. Like Liverpool's fixtures here are Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Atletico. Those are not easy, but like a PSV at home, I think that is a good one to have Salah. Karabag at home, a good one to have Salah. The rest, like Galatasaray away, I don't think is a good fixture. Inter Milan away, I don't think is a good fixture. Inter Milan had the best defensive record in the league phase last, and I think they only considered 1 goal. So this is going to be a tough one to pick. I'll look at this throughout the international break as we do the videos in terms of best goalkeepers, best defenders, and all that. Haaland is 10.5 million. Salah is 10.5 million as well. Who's the most expensive player? Let me just confirm. It's Kane, Mbappe, Salah, Haaland, who are all 10.5 million. Who's the most expensive goalkeeper? It's Soma, Donnarumma. Donnarumma will not be at PSG, so let's see which team is going to be. Neuer, Oblak, Alisson, Courtois, all of them are 6 million. Vicari is 5 million, so if you have trust in Tottenham's goalkeeper, 5 million only. If you're looking to spend only 9 million. Remember, you need 2 goalkeepers, the one who's playing on Tuesday and the Wednesday, so we'll wait for the fixtures to come out. The most expensive defender is going to be Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, worth it for sure. Dumfries, worth it for sure. Grimaldo, Saliba, Van Dijk, Trent, all of them are 6 million. So I guess if you're paying 6 million, you're also looking at attacking potential. So you definitely have to look at players like Hakimi and Dumfries for sure. The most expensive midfielder is Salah, 10.5 million, followed by Yamal at 10 million. The most expensive forward is Ken Mbappe and Haaland. In terms of the most selected, as you can see, Raya is the most selected goalkeeper. To see this. Yeah, Raya, most selected goalkeeper, most selected defender. It is Hakimi. You've said in terms of midfielders, it's Let's see, Yamal, 52%, that's a lot. And also forward Kylian Mbappe. So Dembele is 10 million. Giras is 8 million. I think that's a bargain. Dortmund will probably score goals, even if their fixtures are tough. Like a Dortmund against Bodo Glimt, you'd expect it to be like a 3-2 or something. So they will score goals, Dortmund. A Copenhagen away, you'd still expect Dortmund to score goals in that one as well. So you don't expect them to finish with like nil. Tottenham away, Dortmund will probably score. Man City away, it's not going to be, they're not going to come out of those games without scoring. Dortmund, they will probably score in those games. So all this is very interesting. And this is the first time I'm looking at all these prizes. Let's just choose random teams and look at them as well. Let's go with, let's take a look at Chelsea. Pedro is 7.5. So I think that could be a bargain. Kukare, I think, is very good in terms of defensively as well. So they can maybe get a couple of clinches and maybe ball recovery is 5.5 million. I think midfield is so tough with Chelsea. Players like Gittens and Neto just don't know who's going to start in the winger position. So I'd be looking at maybe Pedro, Kukare, Sanchez, maybe Palma if you want, although I feel like Palma is too expensive when you want to have Yamal and also you want to have Rafinha. And I mean, you can go for him as a midfielder, but I think for me, there's other midfielders I can go for. Let's see. Let's take a look at an Inter Milan. Let's see how much their defenders are this season. Chebe is 4.5 million. Bastoni is 5.5. Dumfries is 6 million. Sommer 6 million. You definitely have to pay a lot for Inter Milan players, especially defensively. Forward players, Lautaro Martinez 9.5. I usually don't like him as an option, to be honest. Liverpool, let's see. Van Dijk 6 million. Ekitike 8 million. Salah 10.5. Vats is 9 million. Gakpo is 7.5. There could be some rotation there. I usually like players who are definitely going to play. So players like Salah and Saliba and Yamal, those players who are definitely going to play. Let's see Napoli. McTominay 7 million. I think this could be a bargain. This guy always scores goals. 7 million is very good. He's selected by 5 million. And then if you look at Napoli's fixtures, Napoli are going to play against Chelsea, Man City. Those are tough, but Frankfurt at home, Sporting at home, Karabakh at home, PSV away, Copenhagen away. That's not bad for goals there for McTominay. De Bruyne is 8 million. De Bruyne back in the day at Man City, so there's a point, was even like 10 million. Lukaku is 8 million when he's fit. When he becomes fit, then maybe it could be considered. Let's pick one more here. Let's see Real Madrid's prizes. Mbappe 10.5, Vinicius 9.5. Vinicius is a midfielder. That is a change. I just noticed that Vinicius, the midfielder this season, is usually a forward, right? Yeah, he's usually a forward. So position change is very interesting. I don't know if you can get that. Are there any? Let me just confirm if there's any news in terms of that from the all you need to know. Let's see here in terms of Champions League fantasy, because I need to know which players have changed position and all that. I know all of this. Nothing has changed here. Let's see. Selected player prizes. They've chosen players like Sommer, Black, Saka, Palmer, Grimaldo. Now, I needed to know, do they give information on which players changed position, what you might need to know? Let's see. Nah, they're just searching for us the usual stuff, but I guess we just have to figure out ourselves. But yeah, it's usually, there's a few players who've changed there. I can say Vinicius is a midfielder. That is definitely a change there for sure. Let's see. Are we going to get any other person? Who else is more capable of changing the position? Let's check Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz is a forward. Kimmich is a midfielder. That's usual. Olise is 8 million. Musiala is 9 million, but he's injured. Diaz is 7.5 million. Nothing stands out right away. I guess I'll have to look into it more and see which other players have changed their position, but I spotted Vinicius. Now midfield, and I can go with Vinicius and Mbappe without stressing about your forward position for sure, especially if you're playing a limitless. That's a good one to have. Lewandowski is 9.5 million. Szczesny is 5.5 million. Rashford is 7 million. If you're looking at him, I doubt he's going to start that many games. Now, I also follow Bodo Glimt. I play the Norwegian fantasy, and then this guy is my captain. This Hog guy is 5.5 million forward. He scores goals, so you can target this guy whenever he has good fixtures. There's also Saltness, 5 million, scores goals, gets assists. I think it's Patrick Berg. Yeah, he is 5 million as well. But Saltness and Hogg are the ones who I would look at if I play that fantasy. So I follow those players a lot. One more. Galatasaray, Sane, 7 million. Osimhen is 7.5 million. Icardi, 6.5 million. So we'll just take a look at more as the weeks go by. That for this one, I just wanted to show you guys the draw in which teams have the best fixtures, and then also just take a look at the prizes and which players are most selected and all that. So let me know, which 3 players are you definitely going to have in your team? Yeah, which team do you think has the best bunch of fixtures? As of now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. A lot of content now coming up.